All right. Hey, BizBoRimo people. I am here today with Jen Cochran from Fitness Design Solutions. And she enlightened me recently, a few months ago in her own group, where she was talking about using a letter ball and using movement as a way to spark creativity and get through writer's block. And I was just like, light bulb, we need this. This is a thing that writers have to have. And I immediately brought her on as a strategic partner for BizBoRimo so she can share with all of us all of her great tips and skills and information. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let Jen talk because she is the expert today on this topic. So welcome, Jen.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. The day that I was doing the post that you mentioned, you and I were just starting to work together. And as I was doing that post, it just kind of authentically came out like around writer's block. And I think one of the most challenging things, whether it's writer's block or we're sitting at our desk and we're just like taking forever to write the email.
Yeah.
Like there's an email to someone that's really not that complicated, but we've been at our desk too long.
For sure.
So as a movement professional, I am not at my desk as much, although with COVID and my computer decided to have a microphone challenge, so I'm tethered to my computer. I am here in my studio, so I'm standing up, but it's not uncommon for me to have long periods of time at my desk. So I find when I get to that point where the email's taking too long or I've read the last sentence 8 times and I'm not coming up with the next thing, just getting up from the desk and going out for a walk. Or getting up from the desk and playing 5 minutes of letter ball. So you can actually make a letter ball by taking a tennis ball or any kind of, I know you have a red play ball and you have one of these on the way, I promise. I don't leave the house very much right now in COVID-19. I have to actually go to the post office. That's a problem.
We don't need to do that. That's fine.
But you can just write letters and numbers on a ball, whether it's a tennis ball or a big red play ball like you played with in elementary or middle school. That's actually very much the consistency of this ball. It's just a plastic, like fluffy ball. So what you do, and I'm going to attempt to do this tethered to my computer here. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to actually throw the ball away from me this way. And I'm going to throw it at the wall here. And then it's just going to come back toward me. So again, we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to throw the ball. And that didn't work very well because I'm not in the computer. So let me try to throw it up here. That didn't work either. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to throw the ball. And when the ball comes back, you're going to catch it. And when you catch it, you're going to be looking at it. So as I throw the ball and it comes back, I catch it and I look and I read the letter or the number of whatever's there. So if I throw it and I catch it and I see an A, I might see 3 or 4 different things, but whatever I see first, just say that letter, throw it, catch it, X, throw it, catch it, Y, throw it, catch it up here. The important thing is that you're looking at the ball, because if I were to throw the ball to Meredith and she were to catch the ball, we could actually keep eye contact and throw a ball back and forth. Never actually look at the ball. So think about that the next time you like pick up a ball, because we don't really think about these things. So by keeping our eye contact and really watching that ball coming in and focusing on it, it helps to get our eyes, it kind of resets our body. It gets our visual system back online with our physical body. And that has magical qualities where it does help to boost it changes our movement ability. If you have a particular movement that you're working on, maybe it's lunges or burpees or some whatever movement, a plank or whatever movement it is. Try the movement, then play 5 minutes of letter ball, tracking that ball in, and then try the movement again. And then you'll notice that the movement actually becomes easier.
Wow. That's really interesting.
Yeah. It's like a reset for the brain. And a similar, like when we take that break and get away from our desk and go out for a walk, or go out in nature, even if it's just to go outside and just go out to your patio. I know you were working outside on your patio, just to get outside and change your perspective. Like when I'm working on my book, I don't write in my office. It's just not the most productive place for me to write.
Yes.
I have a chair in my bedroom that with a table next to it, and I bring my computer up there and just sit there and work there. Or I have a like front room that has the sofa in it, and I'll go in there and close the door and work in there. And I'm 10 or 20% more productive than I would be if I worked at my desk.
Right.
Because it's different work.
Yes. Yes. And that's a really good point that I bring up a lot when I talk about writer's block, is sometimes you just need to shift your space. And a lot of people think you work at a desk, I'm working, the book is work. Even if it's not writing a book, even like you said, writing an email or writing a worksheet for a client or whatever it is that you do, it has to be done at my desk because that's where work happens. But sometimes I found myself just sort of spinning at my desk. I'm just like, oh, I don't know. I need to be working. I don't want to work. And then I'm just like, wait a second. And I get my laptop and I go sometimes to the kitchen, to the island in our kitchen, sometimes to the porch, sometimes to the couch. Sometimes it's just a matter of the walking up and down the stairs that I think does the trick. It's not even so much about the like shifting space, but also sometimes my desk chair is comfortable, but after a few hours, less so. So sometimes it's just sitting on the couch is the thing, and the sitting in a different way, not sitting so straight, whatever it is. It's amazing. It's amazing how much difference. And since I saw your video originally about the ball, playing with the ball, and I immediately went and grabbed my red ball and was playing with that and bouncing off the walls. And I also started, because my husband was getting mad. I was like, he said I was going to mark the walls. So I was like, I'm breaking writer's block. This is important. But I started playing on the stairs, which are carpeted. So I would toss it up the stairs and it would bounce. And that was its own sort of different kind of challenge because I couldn't always predict where the ball was going to go. So I also spent a lot of time chasing the ball in the kitchen. But all of that, I mean, it's just also fun, right? Like it feels very like childlike in a good way, and sort of like you're being naughty, almost like skipping out on work, but like it's part of it. So yeah, it just that little thing has totally changed the way I move through my day. It's amazing.
That's awesome. I do find too, when I get away from my desk, especially if I've been there for an hour or more, getting away from my desk helps, especially if I'm out walking. Like if I grab my dogs and take them out for a walk at a different time than I normally would, they're not complaining. And I get out, and all of a sudden that thing that was holding me up, that thing that I wasn't coming out, or maybe was trying to come out at the wrong time, all of a sudden those light bulbs start going off. Oh, wait a minute. I need to parking lot that, because this other thing is really the next thing.
Yes. It's amazing how that happens. Yes. And I also found, from one of your videos in your Facebook group, that sometimes I am tethered to my desk. There's certain software I run where I have to be at my desk with my desktop screens, and sometimes for several hours. But even just standing up in my desk space here and doing just moving every joint. You went through that in one of your groups. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, and sometimes what happens in the middle of it, I'm like, "Ooh, I want to get back to work," like, because it just does the trick, and I'm like, "Oh, I want to stop the movement so I can sit," because now all of a sudden it's all clicking again.
Yes.
So tell us about your group a little bit, just because I've mentioned it a couple times, so people are wondering or where they can find you or follow you or get more information.
So my page is Fitness Design Solutions on Facebook, and my group is called Surviving is Just the Beginning. I'm also a cancer survivor, and I work with a lot of people in that space. But at the end of the day, we're all surviving something. So it's really just a place of positive messages, things to think about, different ways to think about different things. We have a lot going on in the world.
Yes.
Cancer survivors really connected with the challenges of COVID, because as cancer survivors, we've had times where we've needed to distance from people because our immune systems are non-existent. And so it was very interesting, the conversations I was having with survivors in that space, as opposed to people who had never experienced that before. So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Really quickly, I want to talk about I'm glad that you mentioned it, because I was going to bring it up as well. The movement vitamin is the movement that Meredith was referring to. And the movement vitamin is 2, 4, 6, 8. And it goes with your different joints. So elbows and knees move in 2 directions. If your elbows and knees move in more than 2 directions, they shouldn't. That might be a challenge. Some people who are hypermobile can do very crazy things with their elbows and knees. Refrain from that. So just bending and extending the knees. Also, bending and extending the knees can get the hips involved, but there are 6. So our spine is 4, and our spine bends forward. It extends back, it leans to the sides, and it rotates. So that's our 4. Hips are 6. Hips bend. So let me see if I can narrow down there. You can see my cord, my Ethernet cable in the back. So hips flex, they extend back, they go out to the side, and they cross over, and then they rotate out and they rotate in. So that's hips. It's your 6. And then for shoulders are the same, they're 8. Again, shoulders are weird. Shoulders and knees, they don't make any sense, but they work. So here we got flexion, extension, they go out, they come in, they come across, out, cross and out, and they go around in both directions. So there's your 8.
Yes, that is awesome. That vitamin pill is an awesome strategy. Sometimes I can't remember all the things. I just move anything that moves, I just move it.
Yeah, like a 5-minute dance party.
Yeah.
It's another option.
Yep. I've done that a few times. Just blast the music and just make sure I'm moving everything in some form or fashion.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And you'll notice that you feel better at the end of the day.
Yes.
So if you can do that for even if you did elbows and knees for 2 minutes, and then an hour later or 2 hours later, you do your 4, and then 2 hours later, you do your 6, and 2 hours later, you do your 8. You've hit everything during that time. You've gotten up you've shifted that position, and you're going to notice that your body just feels better.
Yes, for sure, for sure. I've also found, especially when I do a lot of Zoom calls, that takes a certain energy and a sitting very still and focusing. So if I have a lot of times I feel depleted, and my old instinct used to be to just go like lay down, read a book, watch TV, do something. But now I go and I either dance or I hit the punching bag or I just move around, and it resets, and I can go right back and I get the rest of my day back. I can go into another Zoom. I can sit and do another couple hours of work. And it's like 10 minutes, sometimes less than 10 minutes of just moving and activity. And it like resets the brain, like you were saying earlier.
Yes. And with so much Zoom, we also have a lot of eye fatigue.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot more screen time.
Yes, way more.
So playing letter ball for 5 or 10 minutes, getting away from the computer, even if it's to go get a drink or make a snack.
Yeah.
Like, it's that disconnection from so much screen time, which we're all involved in right now.
Yes, very much so. All right. Well, this has been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Jen is a member of the Booking It to Success Facebook group. She's hanging around a lot. So if you have questions, you can post them in response to this video, or just put them in the group in general, and she'll respond, or I'll tag her so she knows to respond. And if there's enough questions about something, maybe we'll do another video, or we'll just keep putting out this information. I think this is so important, not just for writing books, but for everybody, and everybody stuck at their computers. So thank you so much for joining us, and everyone, I'll see you on another video. All right.
Thank you. And we'll be co-writing this afternoon.
Yes, that's right. Join us in the group. Jen's going to be with us. So, all right. Take care, everyone.